Oh, we live. 205. We lit. Hope y'all ain't been distracted too much. Breaking news. Breaking news. Hold up. Breaking news. We live. Hey man, say man, this your motherfucking boy. This the motherfucking God. Melanated, neuromelanated, chaos, luminous, dark matter, antimatter. Child of the sun. Cosmic reflection of the universe. Master teacher. Master student. DeMarco. I know y'all been infatuated. Hold on, bear with me. With all of the distractions. Hold on. Y'all know I like to raise the vibration. Y'all know I like to raise the motherfucking vibration. Y'all been tuned in to all the distractions. Ain't even had time for yourself. I don't gotta say it. Y'all know how I do. Come from outer space here. A Lambo, hop into the spaceship. Let's go. Born in the tundra. Ice cold. If you think you know me, you don't. My mood change daily. Scorpio, I'm the next highlight. I'm real bold in the dark. I'm a nightlight. No ghost, real trippy, real skaty siren. Real hot, real flamey, Cayenne. Make waves on the daily trident. And a bowl, I'm a lamb, I'm silent. Tell the truth in the booth, no lying. Real high in the clouds, I'm flying. No gold on my mouth, just fire. Third eye got me hearing louder. I have been given a message, whatever you touch, you must bless it. Bless it, bless it. You see it? You see it? Water, air, fire. What you feel now is desire. You see it? Water, fire. Water, air, fire. What you feel now is desire. If you wanna know more, look higher. What you see is what you get, I got no mask on. What I do it to help take your mask off. Sonic boom when I open up a blast off. I'm the truth that they thought they could get rid of. Hold on. I embody everybody that they killed off. I swear. Before man and woman when we were just human. Divinity from within was the religion. To know what came before was the only intention. To reach ascension, you have to question everything you thought you knew. There's no exception. We cannot exist without human connection. It's the closest we get to other dimensions. There's no rush. Seconds to minutes, all of it is a construct. If I can dream it is deeper than subconscious. I am the beacon for all who want to know us. Frequency, baby, you know I'm made of stardust. Oh, 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 you know I'm made of stardust. Hey, hey, hey. I just gotta put it in your face, man. I just gotta put a little bit in your face. Let me pull it up right there. Witness with smoking gun evidence on Biden died under mysterious circumstances. Report June 30th. A woman who may have evidence against the Biden family in a bribery plot passed away inexplicably. A former attorney for Donald Trump's claims. What I want to reiterate, and what I must always reiterate, the names that they give us on the world stage is actually what it is. It's a name for the world stage. The regular celebrities, actors, rappers, politicians, all of those people have died. All of your people, all those people, everybody, all of them, all your celebrities, breaking motherfucking news. Breaking motherfucking news. All your motherfucking celebrities are no longer with us. They was already fake from the get-go. They was already fake from the get-go. All your celebrities have doppelgangers. Hold on 1 minute. All your celebrities have many clones. They have doppelgangers. And you can pull up information when they say 2 structures found deep in the earth could be the remains of an ancient planet. Let me pull this up right here. Let me see if I still got this video. We're going to talk about these actors before we get into Mother Nature. We're going to get into these actors. Hold on, let me play it. Even we are actors on this world stage, the grand world stage. But most of us have been programmed to be on autopilot. Your character is being ran. Being ran. Hold on, let me play this right here. Let me see if this is the one I want to play. Hold on. Let me play it right here. Hold on, bear with me. Let me show you what I mean. Cause the new we gotta get our older people. Hold on, got a couple cords tangled up off the goddamn news. Hold on. All this shit faker than the motherfucker. Hold on, bear with me. Let me share this screen. Cause y'all think all these motherfuckers is real. Y'all think Krishna Ball take off whatever the fuck his name is. Think these motherfuckers is real people. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up right here.
put in this when Ukraine was hit.
Look, we're going to use the at least 59 people killed, at least
they got bodies laid out there.
Those numbers are going to go up.
There's just no question about that. He goddamn got hot out there
in a number of locations around the country. You mentioned Chernobyl.
Other niggas
Russian
still
forces
film.
quickly overtaking that
this
area.
Nigga
we understand they're still in control. The other thing that went down today,
I can't goddamn breathe.
was of huge importance was Russian paratroopers went into an airfield 15 miles outside of Kyiv, and for a short period of time this afternoon, they held.
We told you
we're going to use the at least 59 people
and
killed,
get under the goddamn plastic and don't breathe
Those
and
numbers
don't move for these $38.
There's just no question about that. I mean, you have fierce fighting in a number of locations
realize
around the country. You mentioned Chernobyl. Russian forces quickly overtaking that area. We understand they are still in control. The other thing that went down today that was of huge importance was Russian paratroopers went into an airfield 15 miles outside of Kyiv, and for a short period of time this afternoon, they held
action. Nothing as it's seen. Nothing as it's seen. I got something else to say. It's just like, you know what I'm saying, to get your emotions riled up. Oh, the baby, oh. You feel me? Baby laughing back.
Strange things are happening. Strange things are happening. Strange things are happening.
Just like the video they got with the babies that was on the float that all of a sudden got way out there in the water.
Of course, both cola companies can take heart that they are not utterly useless. Farmers in northern Lucknow use them as pesticides, and it's cost advantageous too. For while pesticides cost about $20 to $30, spraying their fields with colas cost only about $6 to $8.
Corrosion on your battery.
पहले तो हम लोग दवा का इस्तेमाल करते थे, दवा महंगी बैठ रही है, तो कुछ लोग बताए कि इसे देखो कीटनाशक इसमें होता है, तो हम लोग इसका इस्तेमाल करने लगे, इससे फायदा है.
A study released by the Center for Science and Environment found a pesticide residue of 11.85 parts per billion in 57 samples of cola drinks, about 24 times higher than limits agreed to. And while both Pepsi and Coke profess innocence, considering that this is the second damnation in 3 years, not many are buying either their product.
They play with our intelligence the most. Just like we got that video out there. Let me see if I pull that picture. Just like we got that video out there, or they got that video out there recently where the little boy mama got the arguing with a guy and he punched her and the little boy shot and killed him, some shit like that. They know you will get emotionally connected to that shit. Because you niggas is real spiritual and you niggas is real emotional, and they know that they can what to do to bring your emotional levels down so you can be subject to more emotional bullshit that they put out here on the news for you. They put all this shit out here on the news for you. They got our women wanting to be the most unnatural to the planet. Then got other races trying to be just like our women. And none of our women really wearing their natural hair out. They weaving it out. Our women are the ones that's going to get the motherfucking BBLs and all the motherfucking surgeries in the world and shit that look like these other motherfuckers. And in actuality, what we don't know is all this shit from the celebrities, these so-called motherfucking influencers, these black so-called influencers, they get these botch surgeries because they already insecure, so they want to make you feel insecure, and for you to go lay up on these folks' table to molest you while you on whatever narcotic drug that they give you, on anesthesia, methadone, whatever the fuck they get you to put you to sleep and do the motherfucking back surgery. They goddamn have relations with you, rape you, all that type of shit while you sleep. Give you the back surgery. You want to be, and all this surgery shit is coming from the rainbow community. It's coming from the rainbow community. Hold on, what is motherfucking picture that I wanted to motherfucking read? What is shit at? God damn it, where it talk about the motherfucking where the fuck it said? What it said? Hold on, bear with me, y'all. Hold on. Let me slide that screen back so I can get a little space with the mouse. Hold on. What is shit at where it talked about goddamn motherfuckers? There you go. According to a new BMC psychologist study, people who are obsessed with celebrities are less in motherfucking intelligent. Less intelligent. And y'all really living vicariously through these motherfucking fake ass celebrities. These fake ass celebrities, these fake ass rappers. These fake ass rappers, for one. Hold on, bear with me. Hold on. Let me play that right here. I got to talk about the world stage before we get in goddamn Big Mama. Hold on. Goddamn cord all in goddamn way and shit. Hold on, bear with me. Let's go. Hold on. Let me play that right here.
People are being extracted for their value, their physical value.
Oh, I got the
digging holes or carrying garbage or whatever.
I can't play.
Your mind is constantly distracted by garbage. It's distracted by people.
I got the speaker hooked up something else. Hold on, let me hook my speaker up then. I'm gonna hook my speaker up there real quick. Bear with me. Hold on, let me show you this shit. Hold on. Let me hook my motherfucking speaker up. Hold on. Bear with me. They're gonna keep all type of Facebook challenges for us to motherfucking do out there to be the motherfucking distracted. They're gonna pump a little more religion bullshit in you. Hold on. Bam. They go right here.
Not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
Club, and I like both of them very much. And he was with you one time, and he said he likes me. And
he does
all that stuff. And I do like him. Look, a long time to go, like you say about me, and you say about others. It's a long time. You have a big health question. Will she be healthy? I hope she's healthy now. I think she is. But that's a long time. You have to wait till the 14 is over, and then you have to go out and really.
Well, we always think ahead, no, in America.
No. Well, you always have to think about health, and I think that subject to that or some crazy thing happening, and lots of crazy things can happen, she has the nomination practically wrapped up, would seem to me.
By the way, how's your health?
So far, so good.
About you. Have you ever?
At the country then, the economy was doing great. Look at what happened during the Clinton years. I mean, we had no war. The economy was doing great. Everybody was happy. A lot of people hated him because they were jealous as hell. People get jealous and they hate you. People don't like him because they're jealous of him.
Not that well.
What are you, a critic?
I got a part for you to play.
Hold on. Let's go to something else. Hold on, bear with me.
I mean, somebody is position to know they're making weapons UNS.
Right at the
Hold on, they probably won't copyright that. Hold on, bear with me. Hold on, bear with me. Hold on, bear with me. Hold on, what that motherfucking shit that I was watching. Hold on, bear with me. Hold on, bear with me.
I'm not making comments about. You can't?
We occur in human species, which is male and female, usually identifiable at birth by the genitalia, which would be a vagina. Coming into womanhood would be that period after she has grown past.
We start with that breaking news tonight. A terrifying killing spree across the metro this evening. A gunman goes on a rampage, shooting 7 people, killing 4.
Many of these family members, many of these friends, they are still heartbroken. They are still emotional. But I will tell you this, I'm measured by their composure to be able to talk to us about these loved ones today. Not even 24 hours later, you can clearly see that there is a growing memorial outside of Soul Tribe Tattooing and Piercing right here on 1st and Broadway. I was able to speak to the father of one of the women who was actually the owner here. Not even 24 hours later.
Like no one you've ever met. Very gregarious, very friendly. It's the world we live in. It's just horrible. It's tremendous. It's difficult to really express how many people's lives she touched. She was a very outgoing person. She accepted everybody in, especially those on the fringes. A real advocate for homeless, for LGBTQ community. Everybody, was connected with her somewhere or another. Like no one you've ever met.
It's an unexplainable loss many fear will never have answers.
It's just going to be hard to go on, but we have to.
What? Once the shooting spree crossed into Lakewood, it had deadly consequences right away, with the first shots being reported in a business near Colfax and Kipling.
And then we heard like a big loud bang bang bang, 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 bang bang bang.
Vanika Ladaprasankul was waiting tables in the restaurant next door when a bullet ripped through the wall.
What would they spray?
A business near Colfax and Kipling.
And then we heard like a big loud bang bang bang, 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 bang bang bang.
Vanika Ladaprasankul was waiting tables in the restaurant next door when a bullet ripped through the wall. This security video confirming what her own eyes then saw. A man walking out of Lucky 13 Tattoo with a large gun and driving off.
It's really scary. We are so lucky that he didn't turn around back and shoot from the outside.
Later, police say officers and the suspect exchanged gunfire near Belmar. He then got away, shot a person in the Hyatt Hotel and a Lakewood officer before he was killed.
We all saw the people running and stuff, and there was cars trying to back away from the person that was shooting, and it was really hectic.
Police say the officer remains in the hospital, but 2 others died. That includes Sarah Steck, a clerk at the Hyatt, and Danny Schofield, a tattoo artist at Lucky 13.
Yeah, it was really hard for people last night.
On Tuesday, tears flowed and a memorial grew at the Kava Sutra Bar, a favorite spot of Dano's. His friends say they'll remember the talented tattoo artist as a kind man and proud father.
He was just a lovable, caring person and a great person, great friend. He didn't deserve this.
No words exist to describe the pain family and friends feel over the loss of Danny Schofield, a father and good friend.
We love you, Dano. We love you so much. We're here with you.
Strangers brought flowers, but a friend,
one last monster with Danny,
left something more personal.
It just became our thing. A monster for him, a monster for us.
Annie holds on to memories.
Danny was a good human.
Of the man who left a permanent mark.
Danny's our family. It's just not fair. I want him to know he's loved and his life mattered. what? I want him to know he's loved and his life mattered. One last monster with Danny.
Left something more personal.
It just became our thing. A monster for him, a monster for us. One last monster with Danny.
Left something more personal.
It just became our thing. A monster for him, a monster for us.
I'm Bobby Lefebvre, Colorado's Poet Laureate, and the reading of this poem is dedicated to our sister.
I know that. Hold on. Hold on, bear with me.
Yes.
And can you tell us your first recollection of about when you became aware of this?
Within the first couple months, it started people posting the picture that you just saw alongside of other pictures of young women crying, from anywhere from the Boston bombing to Aurora, other tragedies. And my picture was put alongside of them saying, this is the same crisis actor. She's everywhere. How can she be in multiple places at once? And from there, it just felt like it snowballed. It just got worse.
When you say there are people everywhere and the snowball got worse, in what way were you made aware of this?
Objection. Call for speculation.
Well, how did you get exposed to all this? I mean, you know how you got exposed.
Friends of mine would send me articles. Other people would tag me in the post. So I would look on social media, and I would have on Twitter and on Facebook and Instagram, there were posts that were just made, and it would be people arguing back and forth. And I would finally get tagged in to the conversation. And I just remember that I had no idea why somebody would make this up. I was so confused.
When you say tagged, I mean, you have to excuse some of our non-Facebook. Is it Facebook that tags people or something?
Instagram and Twitter.
Oh, okay. So what is tagging?
Somebody like comments your name on a post, and then that way you're able to see what the post is. And without being tagged, you would never know the post was there.
Sources tell CNN that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is planning on allowing Americans to receive a different coronavirus vaccine for their booster shots than their original. While the vast majority realize it's BS, a dangerous number of people believe the lies. Here's CNN senior investigative correspondent Drew Griffin.
Dr. Rashid Buttar at one time had more than 1 million followers and is considered one of the top spreaders of disinformation.
And he was one of the doctors on the world stage, or that didn't want to go along with the propaganda, so they took him off the stage, or killed him. They took him off the stage and damn near killed him because he was exposing the bullshit.
Information about COVID-19.
More people are dying from the COVID vaccine than from COVID.
That is not true. Neither is his tweet that the Red Cross won't accept blood from people who have had the COVID-19 vaccine. He posted most who took COVID vaccines will be dead by 2025. But his biggest whopper is the overarching conspiracy theory that COVID was a planned operation, which was politically motivated as part of a secret global plot to depopulate the earth.
You believe the pandemic was planned?
Depopulate who, though?
I do.
Okay, but you don't know by whom.
I have no idea.
And you don't know why.
Well, I suspect that there's the research that's coming now that would indicate that it's probably something to reduce the population or minimize reproduction rates.
It would be laughable if it wasn't so dangerous. Buttar compares COVID and the vaccine to World War II and Dr. Anthony Fauci to Adolf Hitler.
Fauci is a criminal. You talk about Hitler? Okay, well.
Whoever Dr. Fauci is in your mind, he is a government bureaucrat, and you're comparing him to Hitler,
Well, I
to
mean,
Nazis,
I am.
who killed 6 million Jews.
I think this number is going to be higher.
You think Dr. Fauci is involved in some kind of plot to kill millions of people? I just want to
Drew,
make sure I understand.
Again, Drew, I'm a reasonable person. You asking me what I think, and I said it could be this, but I can tell you that Dr. Fauci is not an innocent bystander. He's very well aware of what he's doing, and the extent of it and his involvement, I don't know. I'm not privy to that information.
As atrocious as Dr. Buttar's fake conclusions and conspiracy theories are, he is just one of the doctors spreading dangerous COVID disinformation to millions of people across social media, according to the Center for Countering Digital Hate.
Let's be absolutely clear. Lies cost lives in a pandemic. If you're encouraging people not to vaccinate, you will cause people to lose their lives.
Buttar is encouraging people to distrust life-saving vaccines. And like other disinformers, he is using false, twisted information and unproven conspiracies to do it.
Do you think the COVID vaccine works?
I think that the COVID vaccine is very effective at what it was designed for, perhaps, but it's not preventing death, certainly not.
It's not preventing death.
No.
Even faced with indisputable facts, Buttar doubles down on his belief that life-saving vaccines are more dangerous than the virus itself.
People don't die from COVID. You've already seen the data. So why are we getting a vaccine that causes more deaths than the problem itself?
6.34 billion doses of this vaccine have been given. If you're right, people be dropping dead all around this hotel.
It's not orchestrated to do that.
It's not orchestrated to do that.
Each vaccine has been geared up. So you can look at the ingredients of the vaccines themselves. It's all been published.
Complete the sentence. Each vaccine has been geared up for what?
Well,
there's a time part?
Each vaccine is designed, it appears to be different. I don't know the details because I'm not a vaccine developer.
Scientific corruption.
Because of his disinformation, Buttar has been removed from Facebook and Instagram, but he's still going strong on Twitter, Telegram, and his own website, all filled with falsehoods.
On September 5th, you retweeted a photo of AstraZeneca packaging that seems to indicate the vaccine was made in 2018. That picture that you retweeted was a doctored photo. It was fake.
Perhaps it was fake, but
why would you do that?
So Drew, let me ask you something. You're saying it's not reasonable to question the same agencies that have resulted in numerous deaths, i.e. the FDA?
It's reasonable to ask questions. What I don't understand is how you get from your asking questions to your belief. You had 1.2 million followers at one point.
Yes.
They got false information from you. Not correct or challenging medical information. They got a doctored photo.
If I sent a tweet out of a picture that was doctored and I didn't know about it, I'm not perfect. Maybe I did make that mistake. But I'm not making mistakes on the numbers.
The very latest vaccine studies show they remain 90% effective in preventing hospitalization and death. Buttar tells his followers it is the vaccine that is the danger.
We already see thousands of people dying. This Delta variant is all vaccine injury. I mean, the CDC's own data is showing that now.
That's just not true.
I don't want to be part of this mass genocide that I see happening. And I think that what's going on right now will be remembered as a worst time in history compared to what World War II happened.
I just want to be straight with you. I think you're crazy.
Before COVID, North Carolina's Board of Medicine reprimanded Buttar twice for the way he was treating autism and cancer patients. The board accused him of charging exorbitant fees for his ineffectual therapies, which he denied, including injecting a patient with hydrogen peroxide. The FDA also sent him a warning letter over products he made and sold that promised to do everything from treating chronic pain to improving sex drive.
And yet I have an unrestricted license to practice for 30 years.
And that is the problem. Dr. Rashid Buttar repeatedly lies and disinforms on matters of public health Yet that doesn't have an impact on his medical license held in North Carolina. Lions, not sheep! Across the country, COVID-19 has
Look at that smirk on that nigga face.
The last thing you want is a bidding war between countries for this vaccine. You know, we know there are 60 million healthcare workers around the world who are keeping everybody safe. They deserve to get this vaccine first. And from there, you want to do tiering in various countries to make sure your most vulnerable populations get it. In our country, that would be Blacks and Native Americans, people with underlying health conditions, and the elderly.
Hold on. Hold on. Bear with me. Hold on, bear with me.
Told they'd get treated for their bad blood. Instead, hundreds of poor black men became participants unknowingly in a shocking and truly shameful chapter of American medical history. In 1932, the United States Public Health Service launched an unethical research project to examine the effects of untreated syphilis. The project was called the Tuskegee Study because it recruited 600 black men living in Tuskegee, Alabama. Researchers told the men that they were being treated for bad blood, a term used locally to describe anything from fatigue to anemia. They promised the men free medical treatment if they participated. While 2/3 of the men in the study were confirmed to have syphilis, not one received proper treatment for the disease they had contracted.
So this was a study in which there was no consent on the part of those who were being studied, also deception on the part of the U.S. government.
When penicillin became the recommended treatment for syphilis in the 1940s, Tuskegee researchers scandalously withheld the drug from the men in the study so that they could continue to chart the course of the disease when untreated. Many patients experienced damage to their vital organs and nervous systems, and for some, the lack of treatment led to death.
The great shame of the study is that the men thought that they were being treated. Treatment was withheld from them, even after it was very clear what kind of medical treatment would cure them of syphilis.
In 1972, an Associated Press article exposed the Tuskegee study after one of the participants brought the story to a civil rights attorney. Only then, after 40 years, was the study brought to an end. The case was settled out of court for $10 million.
This long history of medical experimentation on African Americans creates a sense of distrust, a distrust of doctors and physicians, a distrust of medical care.
In 1997, President Bill Clinton formally apologized to the victims of the study. The president's apology was a welcome first step, but we still have a long way to go before the legacy of mistrust of science within the Black community is fully overcome.
Shit's still going on.
People don't remember Bill Gates, the old Bill Gates.
Right.
People see Bill Gates now. I see Bill Gates now, and I see a guy who's wearing an outfit. He wears an outfit.
Yeah.
It's like he's got a suit. It's like Spider-Man. Like he puts on a Spider-Man. Like, this is my really nice rich guy thing. I've got a sweater. Bitch, it's 100 degrees outside. Why you got the...
It's a fair point. It's something we've explored on this show. The timeline does, in fact, fit. He sold a conversation with fellow comedian and podcaster Russell Brand on his podcast. Joe Rogan called out billionaire Bill Gates for his involvement in public health matters. Let's watch.
Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation profited millions of dollars on the vaccines. Millions and millions of dollars. It's all easy to find. And then once he dumped the stock, then he completely changed his narrative and he started talking about how ineffective the vaccines were and about how the virus wasn't as bad as we thought it was and about it was mostly targeting old and obese people. Like, this is wild, because this is the same guy that through the entire pandemic was talking about how great these vaccines are, and these vaccines are so effective, and they stop the virus, and they stop transmission, they stop infection, and all that was a lie, and he profited off those lies.
Yes.
And no, everyone wants to pretend that he's just like this amazing philanthropist. Like, no, he made a lot of money. This is motivated by money, and his entire career he's been motivated by money.
I mean, it's a fair point. It's something we've explored on this show. The timeline does, in fact, fit. He sold those stocks in Pfizer, and he was an advocate of the vaccine technology. And look, I'm not saying that that's necessarily wrong. Again, we talked about this in an earlier segment. I don't stigmatize people for wanting to make money, but you can make money. But then if you also have like total control over the public discourse of what people are allowed to think and discuss, and you command public policy people that can mandate this, can require it, people can't come into the country right now unless they can, like, still. Let
me show you how I know who they talk about. And who they always talk about. Who they always talk about. Hold on, bear with me.
Objection. We have a letter being delivered from the Muskogee Creek Nation on behalf of Muskogee Creek spiritual leadership in opposition to Cop City.
I came all the way on the Trail of Tears to deliver this letter to you folks. We want you to know that the contemporary Muskogee people are now making their journey back to our homelands, and hereby give notice to Mayor Andrew Dickens, the Atlanta City Council, the Atlanta Police Department, the Atlanta Police Foundation, the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office, and so-called Cop City, that you must immediately vacate Muskogee homelands and cease violence and policing of Indigenous and Black people in Muskogee lands. We also ask for an independent investigation into the assassination of our relative Tortuguita, and that the charges be dropped against Welaunee Forest defenders. According to the history of Muskogee peoples, we originated in so-called Georgia near the Ocheesee Creek in the valley of the Ocmulgee River as individual tribal nations. We lived as stewards and in relationship to this land for more than 13,000 years until the illegitimate state of Georgia negotiated with the tyrant Andrew Jackson for the militarized forced removal of Muskogee and Cherokee relatives to Indian territories. Mayor Dickens, can I give this letter to you? Oh, he got one. Mayor, we want to talk to you about our homelands.
The Muskogee Creek people.
Should I keep reading?
Yeah.
Georgia is the birthplace of oppressive policing, originated with the Indigenous genocide and the Trail of Tears, and the capture and enslavement of African descendants seeking their freedom. Our ancestors who are buried here continue to suffer while the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia deploy the very same escalated military tactics against Black.
Hold on. Let me go right here.
Just go into a country, plague the whole place out, and then take over their buildings. New York was already there for thousands of years. San Francisco was there for thousands of years. Los Angeles was there for thousands of years. They were built by the indigenous people who were Black and Indians as well.
Whoa.
The Black people, they are the original owners of America. Black people, African Americans, they were already here, and they plagued them out, and they stole the Smithsonian Institute, which is Jesuit controlled, stole their knowledge, stole their history, and now we're just left.
Hold on, bear with me.
Wondering who we are, where we come from, where we're going. We don't know anything.
Let that play again.
They just go into a country, plague the whole place out, and then take over their buildings. New York was already there for thousands of years. San Francisco was there for thousands of years. Los Angeles was there for thousands of years. They were built by the indigenous people who were Black and Indians as well.
Whoa.
The black people, they are the original owners of America. Black people, African Americans, they were already here, and they plagued them out, and they stole the Smithsonian Institute, which is Jesuit controlled, stole their knowledge, stole their history, and now we're just left wondering who we are, where we come from, where we're going. We don't know anything.
$1 settlement between America's largest bank and accusers of Jeffrey Epstein was given preliminary approval by a U.S. judge on Monday. The accusers are women who say Epstein abused them and that J.P. Morgan Chase turned a blind eye to the late financier's sex trafficking. U.S. District Judge Jed Rakoff said that, quote, "This is a really fine settlement." Rakoff approved another similar $75 million settlement over Epstein with Deutsche Bank earlier this month. He said these are large compensations for Epstein's victims, though they would not make up for the abuses they suffered. The class action lawsuit against J.P. Morgan accused the bank of ignoring red flags of the disgraced financier's abuses and staying in touch with him long after he officially left as a client. Epstein was a J.P. Morgan client from 1998 to 2013. The bank kept him on even after he pled guilty to a prostitution-related charge in 2008 and was registered as a sex offender. Meanwhile, J.P. Morgan faces another lawsuit over Epstein by the U.S. Virgin Islands, where Epstein owned 2 islands and allegedly abused victims in his mansion. Epstein died in a Manhattan jail cell in 2019 while awaiting trial for sex trafficking. His death was ruled a suicide by New York's medical examiner.
Damn fly. I don't know about with him.
Love it here. SEC fines JP Morgan subsidiary for deleting 47 million emails, some related to subpoenas.
How the fuck you do that?
Oopsies. Tee-hee-hee. Oopsies. Tee-hee-hee. Did I delete incriminating evidence of me and my crimes? Tee-hee-hee. My bad. It was a total accident. Astonishing. The Securities and Exchange Commission fined the broker-dealer subsidiary of JP Morgan Chase $4 million for accidentally deleting about 47 million emails from early 2018. $4 million. They fart away $4 million. That is not even a gnat to them. That's nothing. $4 million. Some of those emails were sought by subpoenas in at least a dozen regulatory investigations, the SEC order against JP Morgan Securities LLC noted. The firm in late 2021 agreed to pay $125 million in penalties for failing to preserve text messages and other electronic communications sent between January 2018 and November 2020. So in other words, this is something they've done before. They do crimes because they're the crimes committers, and then they delete the evidence, and then they go, oh, oops, what a mistake, I'm sorry. We better make sure not to do this again. And then what happens? Little slappington on the wrist, little slappington, little slap. They probably net make more money from their crimes than they are fined on the back end. So crime is still profitable for them. The Securities and Exchange Commission fined the broker-dealer subsidiary of JP Morgan Chase $4 million for accidentally. Why are you taking their framing of it? Why on earth would you do that? This is the most dishonest garbage I've ever seen. You're not even going to put a little ounce of skepticism in there. Really, they accidentally deleted it. 47 million emails from early 2018, according to an administrative order Thursday. Some of those deleted emails were sought by subpoenas in at least a dozen regulatory investigations, but no longer could be retrieved. Oh, would you look at that? The SEC order against JP Morgan Security LLC noted. Others, quote, could relate to potential future investigations, legal matters, and regulatory inquiries, the order said. The emails, which were accidentally deleted in 2019, were from and to about 8,700 email boxes, which includes those of up to 7,500 employees who had regular contact with Chase customers. Many of the emails were business records required to be retained pursuant to federal securities law, the order said. JP Morgan Securities consented to the SEC sanctions, which also censured the firm. The firm had submitted a settlement offer in anticipation of administrative proceedings related to the deletions, and the SEC accepted that offer. The SEC also ordered the firm to cease and desist from committing any future violations. You better not do this again. Don't you dare. Of the securities law requiring broker-dealers to retain for at least 3 years the originals of all communications. This is the third time the investment advisor has agreed to punishment for failing to preserve electronic records. Let me repeat that. This is the third time the investment advisor has agreed to punishment for failing to preserve electronic records. I'm going to put this as simply as possible, y'all.
Let's go right there. Hold on. I gotta show a little Mother Nature right quick. And tie it in with the sun. Oh, I gotta tie it in with the sun. Hold on, bear with me. And tie it into what all the crazy shit that's going on. All the goddamn distractions. Hold on, bear with me. Hold on, bear with me. Pull these vibes up right quick. This background noise. Hold on, bear with me. Bear with me. Smash that goddamn like button. It's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. Hold on, bear with me. Bear with me. Oh, I want that. Y'all better quit playing with the planet. Y'all better quit playing with the planet.
I said that I'm one of the greatest. I said I wanted to be famous. I am not just a star in the making. It is barriers that I am breaking. A lot of people would rather be aimless. A lot of people keep doing the same shit. In my comments they calling me Satan. I'm already condemned to damnation. Know my verse but they don't know my name. Hold up. Let the scavengers eat off my plate. Hold on. Who I am is not up for debate. Hold up. I don't just float, I skate. Swear. Why would I ever conform? My presence is out of the norm. They're scared cause they see a storm. This is not my final form. I am a believer that I open so I can see clearer. Didn't I tell you that I am a god? I am the things that you think I am not. I am a siren, the alarm ringing after the silence. And it's they them, and I slay them, and I slay them. I mean those names that do anything for club, do anything for club. Bitches is mad, bitches is trash. I was gonna. I keep my eyes wide open. There's a shift in the matrix, don't close them.
Tell you.
On fire, but I'm still frozen. Your heart don't affect is in motion. I know that they're watching. Got a feeling that a new age is dawning. Ooh, I know that something's coming, like a rumbling. Now are you coming? Let me get my best in order. This is a new world order. Call it what you will, call it a disorder. I am just a messenger, I'm just an informer. We have all this power. We should be blooming like flowers. What more can we devour? Don't you know the tale of Babel's Tower? We all fall down.
Oh, pull that ad out there, bitch. Sign of that goddamn ad, y'all.
What you see is what you get, I got no mask on. What I do it to help take your mask off. Sonic boom when I open up, go blast off. I'm the truth that they thought they could get rid of. I embody everybody that they killed off. Before man and woman when we were just human. Divinity from within was the religion. To know what came before was the only intention. To reach ascension, you have to question everything you thought you knew, there's no exception. We cannot exist without human.
Hold up. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Hold up. Hailstorms, you ain't see them ships in the air. I ain't talking about the government, you can't be spared. You ain't knowing how it is with the Kundaini. I'm telling you, the human resonance on these Lamborghinis. Yeah, picture me at the universe, where it's Omni in the prison, so it might get worse. You couldn't even fathom about the prison though. Intellectual with the third eye when we're rolling folk. Talking about bowls, they were like, little nigga, you like it and cold. Man, I got this motherfucking fire, don't want me to explode. Detonate no C4 when it's crammed in. Niggas stuntin' and they mad, I ain't get the bins. Where I thought about it, put the gas in the wind. Niggas hating on me, came in this world, then I seen. What I mean when I said that. When I came in this world, that's when I fucking sin. Trying to go back to God is. Talking about God, nigga, we can take it with our God flesh. I'm talking about they ain't tell you that we going in. You can read the Bible, but they said that God was within. And the motherfucking kingdom too. Nigga, parables you ain't read it for. Yeah, I guess I broke down the interpretation. Too many bills and we ain't talking legislation. Going for an altercation, I wasn't even playing. Why the fuck they want to see me in investigation? I don't know, but I know I kept it hot as Satan. Seen through these niggas, they were number 11 player. Is it deadly big? I ain't gonna wanna, baby, we been pushing P's. Nigga hating on a nigga, but it's obviously I've been the hottest nigga entity through the deity. I broke down the universe, my university had them swerving on purposely. It ain't even really no intentions, cause what they really gon' get, they gonna talk to Bentley, and they gon' talk they living, and they wasn't even exquisite, but you ain't even have to interpretate all the business. They gifted, shape shifted, and it's obvious they couldn't even fuck with me in the ominous presence. Deadly, they couldn't even get up, they ready. She wanna ride with me, no saddle, but the perpetual like they rolling. I broke down the bars, and you know they owe me. Too many rings got to be the Lord. I said that the bitch was Saturn and she couldn't ignore it. Is they serious? I came straight from Syria. No city girls, I did this, period. Bear with me. Bear with me. I don't know if I showed it or not. Come on now. How you think we came from the same God? Other people get lice. We don't. They chain your ancestors up and gave you their own heaven. Y'all worry about that submersible so much. The shit is sickening. He had the motherfucking joystick from the Dreamcast, and y'all believe this shit. Y'all worry about some billionaires trying to find the Titanic, ain't that some shit? And I'm talking about the motherfucking ether. I kept this shit flaming. I ain't talking beefing. They ain't even talking creeping. They were like we was heathen. How I came through the underwater, I was seeping. They said you were breaking them bars down, you was reaching. I couldn't be a preacher, but little nigga, I was teaching. What that they were confessing, we never ever did it. So what they ever talking, if you ain't talking business, they want me to do it and tell you how we're living. I already know they want your kids to transition, and they just children. You gon' want millions. I don't know what's going on, but I can see it's sick, man. It's really mundane. I done came to the end. Tear this shit down, let my cuz out the pen, smoking out the fucking pound, little niggas in the wind. They were like, he sold his soul just to get a bin. It ain't my fault, man. I just like to look good. She already know she fuck with me. I'm from the hood. Misunderstood. They said the number greatness. So how the fuck they think I'm playing? You gonna listen to the news? I'ma break it down and give you the rhythm and the blues. Exclude all of the fake shit. I'ma break it down anyway. Ain't saving it. You wanna talk about the Matrix? We gon' shed tears, little nigga ain't lagging. They gon' smoke some shit like they motherfucking lacy. I'ma break the bars down and they can't even brace it. You wanna talk about some aliens? Motherfucker, extraterrestrials, you don't really want to get into specifics with me, cause I'ma break it down to every little digit pimpin'. I done showed these niggas how to do geometry. Now it's all everywhere like an Oscar beat. I'm getting tongue-tied on the beat, but I already know my motherfucking destiny. Killed the instrumental nigga intellectually, purposely. They couldn't even fuck with me. I told them dotting I's, crossing T's. Nigga talking about cooking up, but shit, nigga, what's beef? We ain't talking about how they end up like they B.I.G. or 2 PAC. Let's get off that. They say I'm vibrating low at the par with a ball back. You know we need all that. Is it issues? You ain't knowing about the win with the official. Niggas ain't no referees, they not official. I'm vibrating high even though I got my pistol. It's all good, little nigga. Is they ridicule? You couldn't even miss the beat, nigga. Technically, I hit this beat like Tekken, nigga. If we kicking these, I don't even have to do it. It's the same like Siamese. They said I'm out the motherfucking galaxy. What's the interpretation? I don't know no altercation. I'm getting through the crown chakra with no hesitation. You seeing all the smoke coming from the wildfire. The earth on fucking fire. And I told you she a lie. Don't even try. They gonna look between with their eyes. I had to tell them you gotta look with your spiritual one that they call the third one. I'm talking about pineal. The hypothalamus, little nigga, it gonna make you kneel. I seen the face of God is brighter than the sun. I'm telling you that motherfucker gonna make you run. It's too hot for this bitch. I'm talking about falling back. The ozone got so many motherfucking cracks. They were like, nigga, talk your knowledge and just double back. What's a reflection? Cause you know that knowledge we need in that. They were like, they ain't spin this shit like you really gonna do. And I really go deeper all on this YouTube. We hit the motherfucking bottom of the ocean floor. Went straight through it to another ocean. Let's go. I'm telling you, we were on another dimension, boy. I'm in a whole nother realm, I ain't mentioned, boy. For real. I'm in a whole nother realm that I ain't mentioned, boy. You feel me? I'm in a whole nother realm that I ain't mentioned, boy. And what they doing? I wanna play right here. I just gotta show you Mother Earth. Oh, there you go. There you go. I just gotta show you Mother Nature. Hold up. Talking about atoms and molecules, organelles, cells, and tissues. We talking about organ systems. We talking about organ, the whole human organism. That was like, what the business? You couldn't even get it. Tell me what the best. Why they got the kids in the schools saying it's okay to wear a dress? It's more than two genders. As this shit get cold in December, you see that they all fiddle. They got the Mr. Smith effect. We ain't gotta even discuss it. We ain't got praise it. We ain't got worship. You don't want to talk about the knowledge. You don't know the knowledge. You ain't in the knowledge. You ain't into being advanced. You don't want to be intertwined with knowledge and trying to understand the works and the way of your own master plan. And if they tell you that the melanin can absorb all energy, it's consistent, it can take on all degrees of the radiation, that they say that it's harmful. You feel me? It's not, melanin is not ubiquitous to just biological motherfucking pigment. You feel me? This is really interstellar, cosmic, bloodline DNA representation. It is that we're discussing. And as you not understanding what's really going on with your molecular biological structure, then you gonna keep eating bullshit all day, and we gonna know the outcome of you motherfuckers that still materialistic in this world that's trying to tell you fuck being materialistic. You are the alpha and the omega. You got motherfuckers wearing adult diapers to events and shit. They don't want to miss a single performance. We got wildfires bike out there in Canada and shit. Cloudy motherfucking skies. They say the goddamn air quality is bad to motherfucking breathe. We got portals opening left to right, up and down, side to side. Y'all feeling sorry for this 5 celebrities, and get what? You're gonna go right along. You're gonna go right along with them. You're gonna go right along with them. The news is goddamn broadcasting the motherfucking news spell. Broadcast, newscast. A news anchor is another maritime term and fabricated personality that anchors you to your media illusion. A TV channel is another maritime term, channeling your thoughts to where your controllers want you to go. Y'all ain't hear Trump when he told y'all all this shit was a setup. All this shit was a motherfucking setup. And we're gonna continue to see what we see, because people don't see God in them. They just told y'all about the lab food. The shit been lab created. The food been lab created. It's been cloned from the start. They been feeding motherfuckers humans forever. You think they spying on Trump? You think the Department of Justice and the FBI spying on Trump? No. They spying on you. We continue to let the government be absurd with the brainwashing when they trying to tell you all along, man, look, we trying to get y'all the planet back, and y'all still don't really want to see it. Y'all still want to keep up with entertainment. You niggas want to be entertained, and motherfuckers get mad because you don't want to be around them, because you don't want to be entertained all the motherfucking time. You like receiving motherfucking knowledge, and you down by law. You down by motherfucking law. They know who you is, but you don't. That's crazy. They wanted you to get the ego booster. You'll learn one day. Another lifetime. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know your body sake. You know they going on in there. I swear they act like space. I ain't here to debate it. They love the enemy. They don't think we prisoners of wars while we still in these streets.
They eating too much. They ain't balancing right. They fucked up. They can't take this heat. What if it was 150 degrees? That shit'll make your fucking inside bleed. They don't want to hear that knowledge. They can't take it or swallow it. I already know the motherfuckers. They think they models. Thinking rappers, they street niggas and all of this fuss. I ain't listening to the distraction, but I can break it down for you. Hold up. Ain't no Twitter, but I see that they want to follow. They want to think they need them a mercy, a lago. I see Instagram. They got everybody confused. Everybody want to be models, but these bitches really be dudes. Hold up. They were like, little nigga, you need to calm it down. I ain't gonna calm down till I'm be under the ground. But I ain't telling you that I be going under the ground. They got the cremate me without a sound. Pound for pound, got to be the one. She was like, come on here and bang this pussy like a Congo drum. Yes, mom, you already know how I am. And I mean, yes, ma'am, you ain't get the lingo, so you wouldn't understand. I ain't say, mom, it's how niggas got the accent. I don't play round, cause you know that they love the accent. And I had to do this shit, and they gon' love the incense. I had to smoke up in it, bitch. They gon' say it's the incense. I don't play, cause you knowing that they gonna love the presents. Wrap the shit up under the Christmas tree. I brought the presents, too much gifts and a curse. They had to bring it back. We ain't play round with the niggas, and I never lack. Crease it up. I guess these nothing but some duck heads. She want me to come and jump all in the head. Jump in the couldn't even finish the statement, cause you know that it blatant. You know, and I ain't playing. Broke down the matrix, they said, nigga, we got to save it. The holographic sun, I see that bitch out blazing. Too many celestials and the objects you can't even count. I'ma hit that cush, sit, bite, watch my shoulder bounce. Relaxation, you knowing how it is. Moved on to the knowledge, they turn their back for real. It's all good. You can see the shit when it river. I mean, when it rush out, cause they ain't no killers. They really kill their own kind and really their own ops. They don't even really know who the fuck they own. Ops, I done cook that bitch up, nigga, like some fucking slop. Like the young niggas say, please don't mess with my top. I the too diverse. They were like, man, you dead fresh. I guess we should have brought a hearse. You too didactic with this shit. This 9-ether gatekeeper. New sequel, you know, and it ain't peaceful. Too hot, too hot. I tell them you know it is. You ain't say Jesus in Spanish. It's Jesus, kid. It's the sun. You ain't talking solar deities. They gon' say that knowledge, you know, that they got for me. We ain't gonna say how it is, nigga. And turn a lead, she fuck with me, cause it's intellectually, folk, it's sexually. I'm the epitome. They gon' take her to Tiffany's. She say I'm the gift from thee. I say, baby, you the whole universe. You all of the galaxies and all the omniverse. You the whole universe be. You the reason of existence. I had to do this shit, whatever. You already know the business. Chased you in another afterlife. I mean, another time when I had another flesh, and I'm knowing it was so divine. I'm telling you, baby, I bow down. You know you the shrine. I ain't got to talk about it. I'm knowing your body is the ground. You ain't getting the lingo. I'm the narrator, generator, operator, and destroyer. Everything about you. 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 They don't want you walking barefoot on the grass out there. No. Billionaire board member JP Morgan Chase dies in the accident. I get want me to say some hard shit. Hold up. They back with it. Hold on, back with me. Hold on, let me play this video before we get in. We're gonna talk. Let's get into this heat and shit. Hold on, bear with me. Bear with me.
So take a look at this.
Like our subconscious, the black sun is out of our immediate perception. The collective conscious and subconscious meet when the sun's light shines into the center hole. The black sun transforms both energies into the astral light, which then carries the collective conscious and subconscious of the whole, imprinting every thought and action on this plane into the Akashic records. To put in simple terms, the black sun eats the light from the white sun, takes that light and transforms it into astral light energy. This is a loop. Because the sun is the collective consciousness of all the higher selves, we've been told it's a fiery ball that emits harmful rays, and science tells us that it will one day destroy the earth. This is to hide the ancient practice of sun gazing. We can receive messages from our higher selves through sun gazing, of course, starting out when it's low in the sky. And if we were taught to look at the sun from a young age, these messages would be reflecting back in the physical, and this matrix of fear and control would cease to operate. Although many of us have never heard of it, the black sun is one of the oldest symbols on Earth. The black sun was a prominent emblem of the Nazi mythos and was all throughout ancient Norse, German, and Celtic culture. I've already talked about how the story of the Holy Grail is an allegory for the paradise located beyond the center of our plane, the exit out of this side of flat Earth. Many claims have been made about the Holy Grail, and among them is that the Grail was fashioned from the Emerald of Lucifer. The Emerald of Lucifer is the stone that became dislodged from Lucifer's crown and descended to earth. As the story goes, Lucifer was cast out of heaven when he rebelled against God, and the emerald came down. The emerald stone that fell masculine and evil, but this goddess again is feminine and full of divine love. I mean, just look at her expressions. In the Bible, both Lucifer and Jesus are referred to as the morning star. Jesus is an allegory for the movement of our sun across the zodiac each year, hence why he is crucified during the winter solstice when the sun is hung on the cross of Crux. So Lucifer is the black sun and Jesus is the white sun, two sides of the same entity, and this is why they're given the same name. Like I said, both suns are on loop. This could be called the Jesus-Lucifer loop. So the Earth Spirit is a beautiful feminine goddess. There have been countless names attributed to her, one of which is ISIS. The terrorist group ISIS, created by our intelligence agencies, represents the ongoing war on the divine feminine. Feminism's idea of the patriarchy is physical. Physical groups of men who for centuries have suppressed physical groups of women. But the true patriarchy, if we are to call it that, is a war on the divine feminine principles. Many cultures throughout history have degraded women, and this is representative of this war. Again, it is not merely women who have been suppressed, but the divine feminine principles. They're not exactly synonymous. This suppression of the divine feminine applies to both males and females. The deviations of the masculine-feminine balance in each gender towards excessive masculinity is apparent in the egotistical, selfish, insensitive behavior and the lack of compassion that has been displayed here for a long time.
Like I said, people, it has nothing to do with humans or anything like that. It's all dealing with the sun and the black sun. Clear as day and plain and simple. We all the same.
Let's go a little deeper.
Is the battery. That's the black dot. That's the black dot. They take that off of the Kabbalah, but the dot is right here. Now, your whole thing of crossing, dying on the cross. This is the cross. These are the bars. Jesus was nailed to the cross. He dies on the cross. He dies in this area where the star, this particular dot is behind. The spine is just like the back of your head. You have the melanin at the top of the spine and the base of the skull, which is right here, which is dark. That's called the black sun. Y'all all right? That's called the black sun. Now, what happens is when you go up, let's put this right here. When you go up the tree of life, when you go up the tree of life, you get right here. White people can go all up these stairs, but when they get right here, they meet with this demon. Now, when they meet with, what brings you up the tree of life? See, there's some good stuff here, because see, we can literally see this shit. You see what I'm saying? See, I can work with this thing here. Nigga got a new toy. Now, right here you have the Kundaini, which is melanin. The Kundaini fire, which is the hell's fire, raises you up and pushes the spiritual in your chakra systems and opens them up and seals them. It pushes you up, and once it goes in, it hits the black dot. So what raises you up is your Kundalini fire, which is in you, that's rising up based on you raising your vibratory rate. Now, this is the deal. Okay, cool. Put this down. Y'all can see this? Now, oh damn, I got it. What you call it? Right over there? That'll work. Now you're going up this sphere. This is where Jesus dies on the cross. This is the crossing over. When you go in this particular black sun, your lower self or your ego, everything that you think that you are, your ego is only what your body tells you it is. That's the hologram. That's the illusion. So you get hung up on Bobby Hemmett in this life incarnation, but the real thing is something on the inside, which is the black sun, which is the spiritual sun inside of you. So you get hung up on this particular ego and all of this and all your little life and all your little children and all the little pathetic things, which is an illusion. It doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is the spirit and the entity on the inside. It's no more than what the Bible been, what the preachers been preaching to you, but they don't understand the real deal concept, most of them. Because they got the biggest egos in the damn world and shit. And they telling you to go to heaven while they buying damn Cadillacs and shit. Ain't trying to go no damn well. Most of them. Now, ain't trying to go nowhere and all. And wouldn't break bread with a brother in the project to save their damn soul. Some of them damn niggas and stuff. Some of them niggas, the worst pathetic niggas on the planet and stuff, because they was trained by a damn white man. And it has nothing to do with spiritual divination whatsoever. That's moral doctrine that's talking about good behavioral patterns that they gave to the white man. When they first got out of the mystery system, they knew that there was going to be a savage man and he would need a book to go by. How is it that the doggone, you didn't need no book at first. You went to a schoolhouse and they taught you how to become gods. G-O-D, generator, operator, and destroyer. Gods of the universe. That's what the main thing to the mystery school, the key to the mystery school is godhood. But on the, but now, this particular part, now, so what happens is your ego likes it here. It wants to stay. Then it meets with this demon called the cardinal zone. And this particular demon devours the ego. That's your higher self. It only looks like a demon because your lower ego, your physical you, is looking at it. But it's looking at your spiritual self. Jacob wrestled with the angel. He was only wrestling with his alter ego, the dark side. It's called a double side. The double self. You got a double soul. You got the soul that you know here, which is the doggone lower half, functioning off these two false eyes. Because your third eye, your spiritual eye, your first eye is shut down. Then you have another soul. And that double soul, in the ancient man, used to be made aware of his double. It's the root word for devil. The double. Jacob is wrestling with the angel. He's wrestling with his own higher self. You understand? The only fear is the fear in you. As a man and woman thinks, so is he or she. So that this particular demon is called the cardinal zone. Or the cardinal zone. It's the holy demon. And that's the demon that's there to eat up.
Black sun. Below the surface of the earth, there is the black sun that is responsible for the creation of sun and moon. Polar lights are from the black sun below and come from a big hole that there is on the magnetic north in Hyperborea.
You and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe. It looks like the Shubin residence has snuck up on us. It's like we've been hit by something, or at least our electromagnetic shield has, or something is happening to Earth itself. We see here our electromagnetic shield spiking up to over 200 hertz, maybe up to about 300, 350 hertz. Jumping over to the Schumann resonance, we see that it started hitting hard about 7 p.m. tonight. And that looks like it continued for about 3.5 hours. So we've had some really hard hits on our geophones. You can see up here, these spikes went off the chart to start with. We haven't seen any human action in several days. So I thought I would get this out to you as soon as possible. You can see here in the 6-day comparison that really nothing has occurred to speak of in the last 5 days. And all of a sudden, UTC time today, around, 7 p.m. Central Time, it went off the hook. Of course, this model is UTC time. You can see the 3.5 hours here of the heavy spiking. The first hour, 7 p.m. Central here, was the roughest hour for sure. You can see these large spikes, and then the second spike here. And we are talking right about a 3.5 hour period. Looks like just about perfectly 3 hour and 15-minute period of Schumann resonant spikes. And that was picked up by all of our discrepancies here. And to seal the deal, we also have Schumann resonant spikes off the chart here being 40 hertz on our Tomsk Russian time model. So we do have activity for the first time in 6 days on both models. Very interesting indeed. Again, the cost.
Now, our top focus on the show today, unprecedented heat waves continue to ravage Asia this year. The latest heat wave here to hit the continent set temperature records in multiple countries, including India, Pakistan, Vietnam, Thailand, and Singapore, as well as some cities across China. As countries scramble to address more frequent heat waves, it is likely that the climate crisis is supercharging heat waves in Asia here, with recent studies showing that climate change is making the region at least 2 degrees Celsius hotter and heat waves 30 times more likely. Let's begin with India here. A searing heat wave has swept across north and northeast regions over the weekend. The weather department had predicted severe to very severe heat wave conditions in, as you can see on the map, Now, our top focus on the show today, unprecedented heat waves continue to ravage Asia this year. Lost their lives due to extreme weather in Bihar. And on Sunday, Balia, which is also along the central and eastern Uttar Pradesh, it experienced maximum temperatures of 43 degrees Celsius, while Bihar's capital city of Patna, that recorded maximum temperature of 44.7 degrees Celsius. Let's shift our focus now. Another country in Asia that's experiencing scorching heat waves, that is Pakistan. Intense heat in southwestern Pakistan that's left locals struggling to cope with extreme temperatures here, especially in Sibi, which is located in the Balochistan province of the country. You can see on the map here, this is the area. In this region, it remained between the temperature 47 to 50 degrees Celsius. Moving on to China then. In the recent days, many people in China, they have experienced a variety of weather extremes here. Much of northern China has seen temperatures over 30 degrees Celsius, with parts of Xinjiang province rising above 40 degrees Celsius over the weekend, pushing the country's National Observatory to also issue a yellow alert here. Moving on then, Bangladesh too was at its hottest in 50 years. Thailand, it hit a record 45 degrees Celsius seasonal temperature records. Those also continued to tumble last month, with Singapore at its hottest in 40 years. As many as 2 billion people will be exposed to dangerous heat if the world remains on the current track to rise an average of 2.7 degrees Celsius this century. For more on this, we also have with us Mr. Chandrabhushan, who is the CEO.
Broken water pipes in the city of Houston is on the rise.
And that's due in large part because of the heat, and it's also another reason why they are not being repaired as quickly as they should be. So what gives? Our Chaz Miller is live in East Houston with that answer. Chaz.
Hello, Myra. It is still very, very hot out here in that area that we were talking about. First of all, let's start with this. We'll talk about water pipes in a second. We're going to talk about roads right now. And that part that we were talking about earlier, which is right here on the feeder at I-10 and Wayside, where that buckled yesterday. Well, crews are still out here working on that. However, it appears that they are slowly but surely starting to clear out of here, and they're hoping to get this finished by tonight or early tomorrow morning. Let's keep talking about roads before we get to those pipes. You remember that big buckle in the road last week near Manville and Alvin on Highway 6? That was also due to heat and was also a road operated by TxDOT. In fact, the stories we've done on heat and roadways this summer have been on TxDOT roads, including that one, the one behind me, and incidents like last week where the concrete failed at the Beltway in Belfort. So what about the city of Houston? They too own roads. Well, we asked their public works department today, and they said they've had no issues with the roads due to those temperatures. They said they have, however, had a rise in the number of water leaks, and heat has something to do with that. You might remember the city averaged around 1,000 active leaks a day around the turn of the year due to the combination of last summer's drought and last winter's freeze around Christmas time. Well, on June 2nd of this year, the city said they had less than 100 leaks. Today, they're back up to 183. Now, the city said that number is higher because they are trying to keep their crews safe as a result of, you guessed it, the crazy heat. And by keeping them safe, that means they're not out as much to fix those leaks as quickly as you or I might like to see them fixed. Remember, however, if you see a road break or a water
Texas is entering its third week of a record-breaking heat wave. The heat index could top 120 degrees. And the sweltering weather is not limited to Texas. At least 45 million Americans across the southern U.S. were under heat advisories over the weekend into today. For a closer look, we're joined by Jeff Baradelli, Chief Meteorologist and Climate Specialist for WFLA TV in Tampa, Florida. Jeff, thanks so much for being with us. So this brutal heat wave, as we said, is entering week 3. What's driving it?
Well, we have a very weird jet stream across the northern hemisphere and especially right across North America. Things have been stuck for weeks and weeks, and this heat dome has been stuck across especially Mexico, and also Texas has been on its northern end. And because of that, we're seeing what is an extreme heat wave, one of the worst heat waves ever in Mexico, and a very bad one also in the southern part of Texas especially, and that's going to be spreading to the north.
So there's heat. We've also seen tornadoes and other sorts of extreme weather across the South. Is all of that connected?
Yeah, you know, when we have these heat domes, we call them rings of fire, because on the north side of these rings of fire, we have the energy, the contrast between really hot and just warm, and at the same time, stronger winds in the upper atmosphere that tend to generate these big thunderstorms. And then they follow that ring of fire. They can produce tornadoes and also very, very strong squall lines that have extremely strong gusts of wind as well.
Jeff, help us understand the ways in which this heat wave is connected to climate change.
Well, every heat wave basically is connected nowadays to climate change. Remember that the climate has warmed around 2 degrees Fahrenheit since around 1900. Now, that is when you consider both the land temperatures and the surface of the water. But land itself has increased by about double the average of the Earth's increase. In Texas specifically, we've seen an increase of around 3 to 5 degrees during the summertime. So the baseline of these heat waves starts a lot higher. It's a lot easier to achieve heat waves nowadays. Also, heat domes aggregate heat really, really well. So we tend to emphasize the extremes even more than the averages. So the averages go up by a couple to a few degrees. The extremes go up by several degrees. In addition to the intensity of these heat waves, we're also seeing them last longer and occur more frequently. The connection between climate change and heat waves is a direct A to B connection. There's a lot of evidence for it. In fact, Climate Central is doing rapid attribution on these type of events and says that this particular event in Texas is at least 5 times more likely because of climate change. And what's happened to
I was able to trade this coin from Carvana for a brand new car. Here's how.
I've been wanting to get a... We're going to begin with the deadly heat and the bad air affecting close to a third of the country's population. Unfortunately, we have been here before. Take a look at this haze in cities like Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo. New York. That is smoke from wildfires in Canada. The air quality was some of the worst in the world. In Texas and beyond, the heat is the #1 issue there. At least 13 people, unfortunately, have died in this weather. It was hotter in parts of Texas yesterday than 99% of the planet. Wow. We've got complete coverage from around the country, beginning with Michelle Miller. She's in New Orleans, which is also feeling the heat. Michelle Miller, I know that New Orleans is your city, but the good times ain't rolling this morning.
They ain't rolling. It is hot. It is already 84 degrees here with a real feel of 92, and that heat index, 120. 62 million Americans are under these dangerous conditions, heat warnings, watches, and